Model steam engines, top tip time, part 59. In this episode I show an alternative to making gaskets. It's a sealant, but please be aware that it is not silicone rubber. I never recommend using silicone rubber for sealing on any model steam applications. In this episode I also show how to make gaskets using brown paper and how to make a steam exhaust fitting that goes inside the chimney. All the video clips that you're about to see are taken from my series Assembling a High-Quality Model Steam Plant. Let the show begin. The last time I did a steam test, I noticed that this part was leaking. This is one of the steam inlet manifold flanges fitted to the top of one of the valve chests. I'm going to remove both of these flanges because I need to give both of them a little bit of attention. I need to first of all clean them up on some sandpaper to flatten them and then fit them with some sealant. And also the union nipple on one of them is leaking. And what's just come into the picture is the sealant that I generally use on pipe fittings. Just a quick reminder never to use silicone rubber. This stuff is very similar to some stuff called Boss White that's been used for many years for sealing leaks on pipes. This is a very fiddly job. I was quite glad when I got to this bit, which is less fiddly, fitting the cross piece that supports the globe valve and the displacement lubricator. All I need to do now is connect up the live steam feed from the T-piece to the Twin Victoria, and the live steam pipe is lagged in string to stop you burning yourself on it. Everything gets hot on a steam plant, but some pipes are hotter than others. And as a well-known old phrase goes, it's better to be safe than to burn yourself horrendously on a very hot steam pipe. Here's an aerial view. I stood the camera up on the bench and it was quite difficult to pan down like this, but here you get the idea of how it's put together. Now I have to make a fitting to pipe the exhaust steam from the engine and the pump up the chimney into the outside world. And so here I'm making the fitting. I've drilled a hole in this piece of phosphor bronze in the lathe, and this is 2 imperial drill sizes less than 3/8 of an inch, so it's tapping size for 3/8 by 32 threads per inch. And here I'm using a 3/8 by 32 threads per inch tap to cut the thread. I'm rotating the chuck by hand currently. I could do this under power, but I would have to engage back gear, and by the time I've done that I can have the thread cut. And indeed now it is cut, so I'm withdrawing the tap. And now I've reversed the piece of phosphor bronze in the chuck, and I'm turning down the other side. And why am I doing that? Because I don't want to put a great big lump of phosphor bronze in the chimney and restrict the flow of the gases. And once again I reverse the piece in the chuck, and this time I'm turning down the other end. At this end of the piece of work I'm going to leave a little bit more metal because the thread needs something to reinforce it. If I take too much off this side the thread will be very weak indeed and it may break. But I haven't got to that point yet. I can still remove some more metal, so as the tool is wound back I'm cutting some more metal coming this way as well. And then a final finishing cut in the other direction and everything should be fine. It's not going to be the strongest fitting, but then again all it's doing is holding a copper pipe up the chimney. It's not holding anything that is vital. I am fully aware that the tip is loose. It's wobbling about a bit and I can't really be bothered tightening it because it's quite blunt and I'm going to change it. So please don't write in and tell me that, because I saw it whilst I was machining and then I've been seeing it again as I've been editing the video. And once again I can see that the tooltip is loose because I'm voicing over the video. Once again I've reversed the component in the chuck and I'm removing quite a lot of metal from this side. What I do need to do is drill a 1/4 inch diameter hole in this side, and then I will silver solder a copper pipe into this, which will be the pipe that goes up the chimney. And then the other side of it, which is threaded, will screw into the union that is currently just sat in the chimney. Well, it was the last time you saw it anyway. To a machining purist, this must look like the machining version of avant-garde jazz. And in fact it is. It's completely free form, and I'm using a file, and yes, it has a handle on it. I've now turned the piece around in the chuck for the final time, and I'm using a 1/4 inch drill to drill down the middle, but not obviously all the way through. And now for some super precision engineering. I carefully hold the part inside the chimney tube and make a mark on it with a felt tip pen, and this is where I'm going to drill the 1/4 inch hole, and here's the hole that I've miraculously drilled without moving it. And this is the piece of copper pipe that I'm going to silver solder into this hole in the piece of phosphor bronze. And after I silver soldered the pipe into the piece of phosphor bronze, I've found yet another use for my barcode spanner, to hold the piece in place while I screw the fitting into it. Sometimes I put my barcode spanners to a very unorthodox use, this being one of them, but sometimes I even use them as micrometers for sizing pieces of metal that I'm turning. Can you believe that? This is positively engineering anarchy. But it works when I can't find my micrometer. By looking at this image, I think you must get the picture of what I'm doing. I now have a pipe that goes all the way up the chimney, so the steam will exit the chimney at the top and will not pull the fire off the end of the ceramic burner. All that remains to be done now is to attach it at the chimney end, which I've just done, and here I'm attaching the other end of the pipe to the condenser's exhaust steam outlet. Piping a high quality, complicated steam plant like this takes a lot more time than you think. Here are some general shots of the layout, and you can see quite clearly how everything's piped. And for the viewer who asked if I could show an aerial view, well, here it is. It's about as aerial as I can get in the workshop, and in this shot you can see clearly how the condenser is piped to the steam engine. I will show a full aerial view when the steam plant's finished. Do you remember these? These are the steam pipes that are lagged in string, and they're looking good. When I was painting this pipe lagging, it looked very hairy as the paint was going on, but now it doesn't look too bad, and what bit of hairiness was left I just rubbed off with my fingers. I've had problems with this pump, mainly due to the silicone rubber infusion, but anyway that's gone now. But it does need some gaskets really, so I'm going to make some. I'm not going to use silicone rubber, perish the thought. Instead, I'm going to use some of this. This is brown paper for wrapping presents and parcels. I've shown how I make gaskets for model steam engines many times, normally using gasket material, but this brown paper is a bit thinner. The principle is the same though. I use the ink pad and the main cylinder cover, or the water chest cover in this case. Cut out the centres, punch the holes, and then finally cut out the shape of the gasket. And don't forget, if you're using this stuff, it is brown paper, it is not strong and it will tear very easily. So be careful as you put all the parts back together. And don't worry if there's any brown paper, or should I say gasket material, sticking out around the edge. You can soon remove this with a sharp knife. Never over tighten these bolts. If you shear a stud, you have a problem. While I was in fit brown paper gaskets to the duplex pump mode, I thought I would fit a brown paper gasket to the steam chest cover also. And with the steam chest cover removed, you can clearly see the valves inside. Very nicely made, as everything was that Bernard Walker made. Well, maybe apart from this gasket. What I never do is leave the centre of the gasket in place, because it always goes soggy and it can actually break up and drop into the valves. So I just made another brown paper gasket, cut out the centre of it and fitted it to the steam chest. And that's it for this one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.